What should you look out for when you're looking to work with a buyer's agent or a property strategist or an advisor or anyone in the property space that's looking to help you in that journey? Now, I have a bit of a unique perspective because I'm both a chartered accountant with CA Australia and a buyer's agent that runs a business here in Brisbane, Australia called Purpose Property. And so I started out as someone as an auditor, seeing the inside workings of different types of businesses and seeing how different advisory firms and accounting firms and the buyer's agency space has grown so much the last 10 years. Now, we started our business in 2019, 2020, starting with family and friends and then formalizing in 2020 and then our business really exploding in 2021 onwards. And the reason I want to break this down today is there are a lot more people entering the industry, moving into the buyer's agency space, moving into that property advisory space, and there's a lot of noise. You can hear different strategies: buy a duplex, buy a new build, buy a house and land, buy an off the plan, buy a regional, buy a metro, buy cheap, buy expensive. There's so many different strategies out there. What I think is important is if you're going to choose to work with someone and you're going to pay thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars for their services, let's make sure it's up to scratch. So let's start with experience and expertise. Now, experience is quite important, I think, if you're going to work with someone in property. I don't think you need to have $10 million worth of property to be a valuable advisor. But if you don't have any investments and you're claiming to help people buy investments, that's a big red flag as well. So I personally didn't feel comfortable starting the business until our property portfolio was sitting around $3.5 million. Now, probably could have started the business when we bought our second property, for example, but I waited until we bought our third and we were established, and I just wanted that personal confidence in my own experience and my own journey to then be able to talk to it to help others on their way. And everyone who starts their own business in this property space is going to have their own perspective of how they started and built their own property portfolio. And so, you can take bits of my blueprint and bits of other guys' blueprint here on YouTube or on Spotify that you're listening to, or books that you read, and take the good from each of those. That's what I try and do. I listen to, a bunch of different podcasts, even other buyers agents that are local, that people would consider us, competitors. I don't think of it quite that way. I have more of a holistic approach that everyone can do well in this. It's more a game of abundance for me. And so if you're going to choose to work with someone, make sure they've got the backing in terms of their expertise and experience. So that should mean local knowledge. That should mean their ability to show that they've done it in their own journey and they've been able to do that for clients as well. Get them to show you recent property purchases. That's something I try and do semi-regularly here on the YouTube channel. Of course, people don't want to divulge all of their intellectual property, nor should they. They shouldn't have to give you everything they do in detail because that's revealing, the secret sauce. But they should be able to not necessarily prove, but show that they've got the backing, they've got the local area expertise, they've got the client deals, and they can talk you through their process in a clear and concise manner. The next area I want to talk about is communication and service. A lot of these people can be overrun or maybe have too much time on their hands. And so one of the things we try to do here at Purpose Property is be responsive. People get access directly to me as the owner and director of our business. We have a manager in place who's our second in charge, who helps back up these processes, and a large number of buyers associates who are boots on the ground team. Every business or property advisory or buyer's agency business is going to be structured in a different way. And so I think it's important to, whether you're doing a course or whether you're getting a full service model in terms of a buyer's agency, that the communication is clear throughout the process. What does it involve in terms of signing up? What are the expectations in terms of what you're going to receive? For our client's example, we have a sign-up process. Once they've signed up and paid their upfront fee, then we're going to sit down and have a roughly an hour-long chat with myself going through their client workbook. We're going to map out exactly what they're looking for with this next property purchase and also talk about their bigger vision. From there, we're going to start sending you deals and breaking down exactly why we see value in these deals, what data backs them, what's our qualitative analysis on these areas, and communicating all of that to the client. So I think it's important to work with someone who's willing to communicate with you, and you're never going to make 100% of people happy. It's just the nature of anything in life. But I think it's important to work with someone that you connect with and you can communicate with clearly, and it's part of that process. I also find that Google reviews or online reviews can be really helpful. Of course, someone can pad their reviews and get their mum and cousin, and people do that when they're starting out. I'm sure every business owner does, to get at least a couple of reviews on the board. But I think time in the game, being in our case, we're coming up to 5 years in our business, in our buyers agency. And so building those client testimonials, sharing, we do YouTube videos around those client deals, as well as building out our Google reviews and getting clients to give honest feedback around that process, and trying to go above and beyond for each and every client in their journey is really important. So look at the heart of that service provider that you're looking at working with. Are they just in it to churn and burn and make a quick buck? Or can you read through that, and do they have a heart to help you genuinely in your property journey in whatever service they're providing? Topic number 3 that I want to talk about is the skill of negotiation and strategy. A lot of people can talk a big game. A lot of people can say they've got networks, say they know what they're doing, but negotiation is a skill. I've certainly learnt it over hundreds of property deals that we've done and building my own property portfolio to $8 million. And sometimes, this is an interesting bit of feedback in this video, sometimes it's about buying the right property. So it's being an advocate when someone's looking, oh, I could get this one 20K below market value, but this deal 20K over market value could be the right deal for you. Now, the reason it could be the right deal is maybe the development potential. Maybe you can manufacture value in a unique way. Maybe it suits your overarching property portfolio. So I hear a lot of people talking about below market value, which is great if you can buy below inherent value or below the medians, is what we quite like to do. But as part of that negotiation process and advocacy for you as the client, I think it's important they have that skill in dealing with agents and dealing with part of that process. I chatted with a client today who we're negotiating on a building and pest, and gave him the confidence that we as his buyer's agents could act on his behalf and act in his best interest in that negotiation process, and talk him through the exact strategy that we use to get the largest discount possible in most situations. And so I think it's that balance of being aggressive and negotiating, but maintaining relationships and being respectful, and then being an advocate for the right deal for the right client. That's why our slogan is, and it's on the back of this shirt, is the right property for the right price in the right location, because it comes down to you as a client. And that's where transparency is really important. Are they showing their fees up front, or is there a discovery call or a paywall to get through to the next stage? I think that's a big thing that we do differently. We try to be very transparent with our process, very transparent with our fees. And so if you're going to work with someone, wouldn't you want to know what you're going to pay? And if they're going to change their fees from client to client, or they have a different ranking system, or they're going to put other clients before you, I think they're all important questions to ask your buyer's agent or your advisor or your accountant and strategist, whoever you're working with in this property journey, to make sure that they're being ethical and they're being transparent and they're helping you through this journey and they're acting in your best interests. So I love that transparency. I've been very transparent on YouTube. I've been very transparent on our website and sharing. We've done that from the start. And our fees have grown significantly. I think our fees initially in 2020 were maybe $11,000 to $15,000. And now we're sitting at $17,500 to $25,000 plus, depending on what price range you buy in, because we use a tiered pricing system. So every buyer's agent is going to be a little bit different in terms of their pricing, but I think it's important to know that up front before you even have a conversation with them, so you know what you're getting into. Now we need to talk about the data, the tech, the resources. Do they have the systems and processes in place to back exactly what they're looking to do? So myself and the team do quarterly data analytics around the Brisbane market specifically. And that's one of the great things about our buyer's agency. Yes, we could scrape data from Australia-wide, but we can scrape data specifically to the Southeast Queensland region and spend more time than other BAs might be able to do in this space. So we believe that we are one of the area experts here in Southeast Queensland, specializing in this location. And so we look at Australian Bureau of Statistics data. We look at different websites that even other BAs might provide, like Picky. We use CoreLogic, SQM Research. There's a number of databases, the back of domain. We can scrape from all of these different resources to then put together collective data, analyze the value of these data points, and then put together a collation of suburbs that we think meet different price points for different types of clients. Alex Hormozy talks about a client avatar. We might build out internally those avatars of owner-occupiers and investors and different price points, and then map out each quarter where we think those right locations are based on our data and analytics. On top of the technical or the quantitative approach, it's important that someone has qualitative touch too. I think if you just make your decisions on a spreadsheet, it's very like my background as an accountant, just check all the numbers, but you don't look at the nitty-gritty of the location, the street, the look and feel, the owner-occupier appeal, the elevation of the block, the side access, the granny flat potential, the setbacks. All of those things need to be considered as part of a property purchase. So in my opinion, the property investing game or the property purchasing game overall is part science and part art, and it's putting that together. So make sure whoever you're working with has the process, the technology, and takes, in my opinion, both a quantitative and qualitative approach to the way they help you execute on that property purchase. So what a way to break down these different areas. We've covered off on experience and expertise, client service, negotiation and being an advocate, transparency, and finally on that quantitative, qualitative, technological approach and having enough resources to deliver what people are saying they're going to deliver on. Buying a property is going to be the biggest decision, probably financially. There might be other big decisions like getting married or, doing other things, moving. There's other big decisions in life, but financially, buying a property is going to be one of the biggest financial decisions you ever make. And buying multiple properties is massive in terms of your wealth creation journey. So if you're looking to work with someone like myself, and this resonates with you, and you're looking to buy a property here in Southeast Queensland, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a chat with myself. If you're not looking to buy in Southeast Queensland, that's more than okay. There's thousands of locations across Australia and different price points that you might want to buy. So maybe you might be interested in our property investing course called Invest with Purpose, which takes you through the step-by-step process of exactly how Emily and I built a multi-million-dollar property portfolio. So head over to purposeproperty.com.au and click on course to check that out. Now, thanks for sticking around to the end. And because you've gotten this far, YouTube really wants you to give this video a click right here. So give that one a watch, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.